Hello and welcome to This Board Game Life. I'm your host, Mark, and today I'm unboxing Flux, the board game compact edition from Looney Labs. Is it Looney? Yeah, from Looney Labs. Flux, the board game, lives up to its card game namesake, as this board game is all about change. Changing rules, changing goals, and changing tiles on the board. Players start the game with their three pieces in the center of a 3x3 grid of tiles, with each tile divided into four spaces, and each space showing an icon of some type: chocolate, sun, cookie, etc., or an octagon, or a portal. Players each start with three cards in hand, and the overall goal of the game is to collect 3 to 6 goal cards, with the exact number possibly changing during play. On a turn, a player draws one card, plays one card, then moves one space, with all those values being subject to change during gameplay. Depending on what's currently allowed by the rules, you can also use movement points to rotate or move tiles in the play area. If you have a piece on each icon shown on the topmost goal card in play, you claim that card and are that much closer to winning. Players can also claim goal cards they have in hand by, again, placing their pieces on the appropriate icons. Other cards in the game allow players to change the rules, the game board, the ownership of player pieces, and so on. This was designed by Andrew Looney, art by Michael Hayes, published by Looney Labs, originally published in 2013 in this bigger box format. As you can see, mine's in real rough shape. But it was also published in 2023, this compact edition. I actually just saw it. I didn't even know there was a compact version. Mine's really beat up, so when I saw this copy on my store shelf tonight, I had to buy it. Anyways, this is for ages 8 and up, for 2 to 4 players, and plays in about 15 to 45 minutes. And as always, I do ask before we go to the table and take a look at it, if you would please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you'll always be notified of new content when it is dropping. All right, so let's take a look at what comes in this and see if it's something you're interested in. So I'm quite zoomed in. I think I can zoom out a little bit. But it is, for all intents and purposes, it is the original board game. It's just the big one, the main one, just had an insert to kind of hold everything. But really, I think this will be a lot nicer to haul around. Except the rule book might be nice to have the bigger rule book. But again, it's Flux. There's if you played Flux, and if you aren't familiar with Flux is a very popular game, card game. There's I don't know how many. I say there's a million different versions of it. There is a lot of different versions of Flux card game. It's really an excellent game, but I really love the board game. I thought this was so much fun. But just to give you an idea of some of the different Flux games, there's a chemistry Flux. I just bought this one for my daughter the other day. We found it, and I was like, I didn't even know there was such a thing. And she's a chemistry major, and so I bought it for her, and she absolutely loves it. But you got math and nature, and these are the educational ones. And then there's Star Trek and several different Star Treks, and Doctor Who and Marvel and Jumanji and just Cthulhu and Zombie and Oz, and just there are so many different types of Flux games out there. Plus just, Flux, and then Flux Remake. Like I said, if you don't know what Flux is, you should check it out. All right. So anyways, Flux is a very easy game. It's a lot of fun. It does play quick. It's essentially the card game is you draw a card, play a card. Like it's like that's it. That's the rules at the beginning. But the rules can change to later be like, well, you draw 2, play 5, or something like. I mean, it's always constantly changing. The game is always in flux. So the board game is taking that kind of concept, but with a board where you're moving tiles around, moving your little pieces around. But the board can change itself. They're these little tiles that will eventually be sitting out, and you're moving your pongs around. But then these things can shift and change and move as the rules change. So it's just this basically a 2-pager there, right, front and back, for the rules. So you don't need a huge rule book. All right, so let me have my my components. So they don't even probably list that because there's setup right there. That's probably about it. So you do have, everybody has their little pegs. I don't remember what the pegs were for. And then there's little cubes. Oh, I think the pegs are for the changes in the rules. So place. So there's this here. Your little pegs are going to go into here. So you can draw. This helps you keep track of the rules. Drawing, draw, play, move. There's your hand limit. Whether you rotate a tile, whether you're going to uproot a tile or wrap around. So those are the different things that can happen. So you're going to have these little orange pegs that will go in, and they'll go in here to remind you of what the rules are. You're also going to have the goals here. So this is telling you how many you need to win. So that can always change as well. So another peg for that. And then everybody's going to have their little meeple they're going to move around the board. I don't remember what the little so the pegboard, you've got tiles, which are these things. So there's all kinds of different art. So that's where we're going to start. Then you're going to be placing all these different tiles out at some point. And again, they can move around and do various things. And again, the game is always in flux. We do have, take a look at some of the cards. We got my color is blue. My color is green, red, yellow. So 4-player game. It's probably just to put in front of you. And that way everybody remembers who's what. You put those. Let me zoom out a little bit further here. We're getting a bit more stuff on the table. So, but then here's some of the cards. Here's some goal cards again. So if you've played Flux, this makes sense. Place on a goal stack. Claim this goal if your pieces occupy these spaces. The lullaby and the Z's. The pizza and the little parties. It's a pizza party, right? So if you've got your markers out on those spaces, and then going to be more goal cards, and should have some rule change cards in here. And so there's your more goals. Okay. And then we also have the rules. So here's how things, when you playing, you may draw a card, but maybe you have to play 2 cards. So maybe you're going to go, all right, well, I'm going to change a rule. I'm going to move a peg and discard. So this is a move faster rule. So shift the move peg forward 1 notch. This one is shift the move peg forward or backward 1 notch. So a new move number. There's new win number, how many it takes to win. Toggle the uproot, toggle the rotate, toggle wrap. So all these different types of things are going to come in and can change the game. And then you've got action cards. So all players pass their color card to the player next to them. You decide the direction of rotation. Back to square one. All players except you must immediately move all of their pieces back to the start tile. So there's all these different actions and rules. And yeah, it's a really fun game. It is constantly changing. It is still a very easy game to play. So then these green cards, I don't think I explained these. These are leaper cards. So when you play a leaper, you move one of your game pieces directly to the space shown on the card. If another piece is already there, that piece is moved back to the start tile, unless the space is an octagon or portal. Using a leaper card counts as a play, but not as a move. So you can move to any of these spaces on the board, which might help you get a goal. So, all right, that's it. I'm really excited that I have found this. I really do like Flux, the board game. And now, in my old box was in really rough shape. And now that I've got this version, and it's this nice travel, this will go with me to game nights, probably be a permanent addition into my bag, because it's something you can just pull out real easy, play as a warm-up game at the end of the night. If you got a few minutes left, you can just chill out with it, or play in between bigger games. But Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. I didn't even know this was out. It came out a couple years ago. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this look at Flux, the board game, the compact edition. We'll see you at the table.